Ladies and gentlemen, the coronavirus has claimed over 36,000 lives and has infected 7.5 lakh people across the world in the last 5 months. With scientists competing to find a COVID vaccine, there is only one question on everyone's mind tonight, and I'll try and answer that next. When will we get a corona cure? Aren't you asking that question? I'm sure you are.
With over 1,45,000 cases globally, coronavirus vaccine is the need of the hour. A pharmaceutical company in the United States of America started clinical trials of the vaccine a fortnight back. And Trump is pushing for hydroxychloroquine drug for corona treatment.
We're ordering, yes, we have millions of units ordered. Bayer is one of the companies, as you know, big company, very big, very great company. Millions of units are ordered, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to be talking to the governors about it, and the FDA is working on it right now.
WHO has taken the first step. Patients from Norway and Spain have been roped in for the drug trial. And India is gearing up to participate in WHO's efforts.
We have indicated our willingness to go for vaccine trials if they become ready, if they pass out animal study for our own Indian population. In order to look at the newer drugs that might come, we are also likely to start our participation soon in solidarity trial that WHO is starting.
As our doctors back home are battling a war with an invisible enemy, taking great risks to save India from coronavirus, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made it clear to the world, ensure that medical research is freely and openly available to the world. And the world has only one question on its mind: how long for the corona vaccine? Let's debate.
We have Anant Bhan, who's a researcher in global health, bioethics and health policies, joining us from Delhi. On the left-hand side of your screen, to my right on the screen is Dr. Sudhir Kumar. He's founding director of the Institute of Genomics and Evolutionary Medicine at Temple University in Philadelphia in the United States. And to the extreme right of the screen, we have Dr. Rajan Sharma, president of the Indian Medical Association. Dr. Sudhir Kumar, first of all, are we looking at a vaccine or treatment? I mean, there are two separate things. A vaccine is to prevent anyone from getting COVID, right? And the second thing would be treatment after one gets COVID. When we talk, and my hashtag today is cure by when, the best thing is a vaccine, right? Which is a preventive. Is that what the world is working towards? Is that what scientists are working towards?
Thank you for having me on your program, Arnab. I'm happy to share what I have learned in the community on their efforts in this treatment and vaccine problem. And so you pointed out very well that we have two different problems: treatment in a very short term and vaccine potentially in a shorter and maybe relatively longer term.
Yeah.
So treatment is because a number of people are getting infected and they do need a treatment to get over this terrible disease. And vaccine, because in the future, and also for the new potential targets of this virus, we need to have a vaccine so we can actually prevent getting this disease.
Yeah. So what are we looking at right now? Are we looking, there's a global race which is on. Is that race for a vaccine or for treatment?
So right now, there are both races going on at the same time. For treatment, we are looking into seeing if already existing drugs can be effective against this particular disease. And that would be drugs that previously had some potency against maybe flu, maybe in this case malaria, as you discussed about the hydrochloroquine. And the idea is that if we test these drugs, there are probably 50 to 100 of these that are being tried. Some of them might show efficacy, and if they do show efficacy or treatment ability against this disease, then those could be used because they're already available. We already know about their side effects. And so if they do work in the patient population that they are testing it on, which could be a few weeks or a few months, they would know, then that would be a great advancement. And that's what the world is doing. And we will have to wait for approval of governing bodies about which are the safest drugs to take. So that's what I would say about the treatment part of it. The vaccine part of it is, of course, we would love to have a vaccine, but vaccines are either repurposed or completely developed afresh. Afresh, when you develop a vaccine, could take years, 18 months, 2 years, 5 years. But if you have already an existing vaccine, like against SARS, which was previously tested and may have not been used yet, it might actually also work against CoV-2 or COVID-19 virus. And if that is the case, as some companies are trying to test, then we will have a pretty quick vaccine developed. After that, the question would be production, distribution, administration. So all of these things take time. I know we all urgently need these disease-fighting tools, but everything takes some time.
Of course it does. Dr. Rajan Sharma, there is a global race, first of all, viewers. The global race has 35 companies and academic institutions. There are 4 at least already which are testing, viewers. And these tests are happening on animals. This is the information that I have. So can something happen quickly? Like, could it be possible, Dr. Rajan Sharma, because we are also part of a solidarity trial by the WHO. Can it happen today that maybe today we don't expect to get a vaccine out quickly, but is a miracle sudden solution possible? Because we are hoping that maybe it won't take so long. Maybe we'll get the news one day, breaking news, the vaccine has been found, maybe in a few weeks or months.
Good evening, Arnab. Frankly telling you, my take-home advice at the moment is concentrate on management and treatment. Vaccine, whatever stage it is, USA, Israel, China.
Right.
These are the 3 major players and maybe Switzerland.
Yeah.
So what stage they are in, they're not being shared.
Why?
India has become a partner.
No, why is it not being shared? No, why is it not being shared? I thought the Prime Minister in the G20 summit said that we now need to work together. It's unbearable if some Swiss company decides that it is not going to share. If you're doing an innovation, the question is you can't say, I'm not going to share. If there's going to be no, do they want to make money out of it?
Oh, I'll take you back a few years. When SARS and swine flu came, it was a short-term flu. But keeping in mind the commercial angle, no attempt was made to make a vaccination of it. Today, suddenly, COVID-19 has struck the world. And the focus on vaccination has come. As per my knowledge, they are going on, rest everybody of the panelists who are more experts. 44 types of trials are going on. And ideally, there are 4 phases for a human trial. And as I say, first phase trial is only in 2 types of vaccines. So, if a miracle happens...
No, Mr. Dr. Sharma, I don't think you got what I was saying there. What I was saying was that you are looking at commercial interest. I find the whole idea of commercial interest at a global crisis like this to be unethical and unacceptable. And if
I am not looking at it, I don't
No, not you are not looking. I'm saying you pointed out to the commercial interest of some people, and what I'm saying is, what are governments doing?
That's highly deplorable.
You can't allow a private company to exploit this commercially. First, you give the solution. You can't say that I've invested money in this, and hence, even if a solution... why does the world not know, Dr. Anand Bhan, Mr. Anand Bhan, which stage these trials are in? If there's a Swiss company, they better tell us. They can't hide it from us. I thought there should be daily press releases on what's happening in these companies.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks for having me. So I think, we have to realize that scientific development of vaccines or for drugs is a process, and you need to go through that process in sequence. And that requires, as you were rightly pointing out, to do some preclinical work. Preclinical work typically involves working in the lab and also with animal studies. And then you move on to human studies if you see that there is some promise that these candidate vaccines are exhibited. whether these are vaccines which are being developed in the public sector through government labs or with companies. Typically, they would need to be registered in a clinical trial registry once they go through to a clinical trial stage. So that information is, there is some element of that which is in the public domain. Some element might not be, because that might be protected by the companies in the name of IP. I agree with you that at times of crises like this, there is an argument to be made that there should be open sharing of information, of data, and we should be trying to see how we can work together, both in the public sector and the private sector and with academia, to come up with candidates which could work, and then optimize our drug development pathway or vaccine development pathway. There are innovative methodologies like human infection models help here, and there are groups working on that. But at the end, we should remember that we should not be too excited about any candidate, because there is enough history of vaccine development that says that there are a lot of candidates which seem promising early on, but then later on seem to be effective. So let's make sure that we do efficient science, but let's not hurry up too much as well. But what you don't want is a cure which is more dangerous than the disease. And there are sometimes vaccines which can actually make you sicker. So we want to make sure that safety and efficacy is at the heart of any drug development and vaccine.
Absolutely. Well, that's very, very reassuring. A small graphic which is there right behind me, viewers, you can see that. What you would see in that graphic is simple. Viewers, the spike post the 100-day graph is what you need to look at. After the 100-mark infection, Spain, 3rd March to 15 March, more than almost 8,000 cases. US, over 6,000 cases. The post-100 spike, look at from the number 100, how much time in 12 days where it went. In Spain, US, Korea, the spike was like from 100 to 5,000 plus. In UK it took 12 days, 2,462. In India, the graph is a little better. Look at that number. That red line there is India. Between 17th of March and now, we've gone up to 942, 24 active cases. And if you look at active plus cured cases, that's about 1,050. So my question to all our eminent panelists is this: is there something different that's happening in India? My question is it a different strain? Are we testing way less? Is it a different mutant of the coronavirus we are looking at? Because I also saw and I read that the virus has evolved into 2 types. There is an L type and an S type. And the question would be that is this a different mutation in India compared to the rest of the world? And my second question, Dr. Sudhir Kumar, is, all these companies are racing to find a vaccine, but the virus is also races. Maybe by the time we find a vaccine for what we're dealing with now, this virus will mutate into something wholly different, and will that make things difficult?
Okay, that's a great question, and those are wonderful graphics, and I'm very happy to see that in India, the trajectory or the growth is slower. Now, it is up to the administration and politics to understand why that is so. Generally, one reason, as you mentioned, is maybe we have not tested enough individuals and we have therefore not found enough cases. That is one possibility. And I hope the other possibility, which is that somehow Indians are protected against this virus, is more likely, but it is unclear if that is the case unless we test more people, which will happen, I think, very soon as India tests many, many more thousands of individuals. Now, the response to the virus is different among different people. So within a family, some individuals will get sick, some will be carriers of this virus, and some will actually not even show any virus, despite the fact that they all live together. So this is called variability. Every individual's DNA or genetics is a bit different than the other person, even within a family. So we respond differently to drugs, to these kinds of pandemics. And so essentially, this difference at the family level is also observed at the level of population. It's also observed at the level of where you are. If
One
you're
last
in a
question.
geographic region which is cold, it may be higher. So the point is
I have
that...
one question. One last question I have, very briefly. And this question is to Dr. Rajan Sharma, President of IMA. Dr. Rajan Sharma, is a TB vaccine a possible cure? Because we are hearing that Australian researchers are racing with the vaccine used to prevent tuberculosis. And trials are starting with 4,000 health workers in hospitals. Is this a preventive? Is this a cure? What are you hearing?
See, as far as till the time the full clinical literature and material is not available, it is very difficult to make a comment. And once these reports or the clinical trials are shared with us, only then we can suggest. But yes, TB is one of the biggest killers of modern times. And after we come out of this crisis, rather I would say, with the cough being a symptom with which people are reporting, this time should also be utilized to screen them for tuberculosis. To be prepared how to manage tuberculosis in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Lot of health awareness in this period. Now we have a choice after this. Viewers, just look at the screen out there. I will end with this screen right behind me, viewers. This is where every day I will end with this graph. And I will tell you where the graph is. Today, the graph is not spiking, viewers. Can we come together to make sure the graph does not spike? The numbers are 1,170. Active cases. The total cases are 1,251. 1,170 active cases in India, viewers. We have to flatten the curve. We cannot violate this. We have to report violations. And we must come together. And we must put together an incredible effort with one sole intention. Our national service is to flatten the curve. Don't go out tomorrow. Stay home. Stay safe. Support those who are in the fight. India, let's do this. Let's flatten the curve. I'll see you at 9 tomorrow. My team of reporters and producers are working round the clock in this national effort. Good night and goodbye.